Is all about how to melt that stubborn hormone belly weight, especially if it's in the belly section, the feminine energy way. We're not burning ourselves at the gym. We're not counting calories today. We're not dieting. We are not doing it the masculine hustle bro way. No, ladies. Today, I'm going to be teaching you how to melt that weight, melt that stubborn weight, that last 10 pounds that hasn't been moving, or maybe you've just been holding on to a lot of emotional weight from stress. Maybe you're over 40. Maybe it's the belly weight. Maybe it's from having babies. Ladies, I'm also 40 and I had 4 babies in 5 years. So I understand that life. And today I'm going to go through 5 things that you can start doing today that's going to help you melt that stubborn hormone belly weight the easy way. Okay, so this is going to be really fun and exciting. You can relax. This is an area that I really specialize in. For the new people that are here, what's up? I'm Natasha. I actually started out as a registered nurse. I worked in the hospital. I had my degree, went to university, and then I started having babies. I had 4 babies in 5 years. True story, by choice. I wanted to have all my babies, so I got all my babies. I'm so grateful for them. It took a huge toll on my body, as you can imagine. And then, unfortunately, in my first marriage, my husband got diagnosed with colon cancer. And everything kind of went on pause for me in my life, and I had to nurse him. I had to take care of him. I was his caregiver for about 3 years while taking care of 4 little kiddos. Fast forward, he ended up passing away, and since then I have thrown my entire life into my own inner healing, my own glow up. If you've been following me for a while, I attracted the most amazing man on the planet, my now husband, Coach B, and we're living our best life. And now my life's mission, what gets me up every day, what fuels me, what excites me, is teaching the women, teaching the ladies how to live their best life, how to lose weight, how to stay healthy, how to all the stuff that I didn't know before about hormones, about gut health, about masculine energy, feminine energy, about your nervous system, all of that stuff I didn't know before. And so now this is what I do. I teach women about how to re-regulate their hormones, their feminine energy, and their nervous system. And the cool thing about this is because of this, I've gotten incredible results with our women. Incredible. So before I go into the 5 points that you're definitely going to want, I want to let you know my background so you can understand this girl's got receipts. Okay, I'm not just on here, just trying to sell your product. Not at all. That's not what today is about. I'm actually showing you some of the receipts that I've had. So anyway, I was coaching women. I started actually coaching women in the area of hormones. So I went back to school, became certified at an accredited school in hormone coaching. And this is when I was a single mom with 4 kiddos. And I started teaching women because I learned about hormones to keep myself out of a depression when I was widowed. That was my only focus. I was like, I don't want to be depressed. I had 4 kids under 8 years old and I was a widow. Okay. And then we went through COVID. So you can imagine how stressful that life was. I was also a boss babe. I had a really successful company. So I was functioning heavy in my masculine energy. Heavy. Okay. Like I was so clueless to the stuff that I teach you ladies on this channel and in the Feminine Energy Academy. I was so developed in my masculine energy, hustle, grind mode, that type of energy. So my hormones were a mess. My gut health was a mess. And so that was my starting point. I, fixed my hormones. I finally got rid of acne. I had acne for 20 years. As an adult, in my 30s, you guys, I had acne. Okay. I had gut issues. I had all this. So I fixed all that within myself. And then I started coaching women. And so a lot of people, if you've been following me for a long time, back in my Adora days on TikTok, on all these other channels, that's what I was teaching women, was about hormones and weight loss. And it was amazing. But here's the cool thing is I was getting such great results with my women Not only were they reversing PCOS and adrenal fatigue and fatty liver and cholesterol issues and, of course, all that stubborn belly weight, but the interesting thing is they were starting to attract so many men. The exes were coming back, the ex-husbands were coming back, and this wasn't just one or two. This was like every woman I was working with. I was like, "Isn't that interesting?" And that's when I started really learning about feminine energy. That's when I was really in my own life doing a lot of healing around my nervous system and wanting to attract my own husband. And of course, me and a lot of you women are like this too. We become obsessed about a topic and learn everything about it. That was me. And so I attracted my amazing husband, got married, and then I started teaching women about feminine energy also. And so my perspective has changed so much because now I really help women heal the hormones, melt that stubborn belly weight, okay? Glow up, literally age in reverse. But we're doing it the feminine energy way. Okay? Does that sound good? Yes. Let me know in the comments what you are struggling with. If there's a certain amount of weight you're trying to lose, if there's something health related you are trying to reverse, let me know in the comments. Okay, so we're going to jump into the 5 things I want you to focus on that's going to help you melt that hormone weight the feminine energy way. Once again, ladies, this is not about hustling and grinding and, doing all the crazy things that we see the bros doing, starving yourselves and calorie counting and working out 10 hours at the gym every day. If you are a busy mom like me, you're running a business, you have kids, you don't got time for that. Okay, so we are quantum leaping. We are doing things the easier way, the feminine way, the fun way. All right. Okay. Before I get into the 5 things, ladies, I want you to start understanding your hormones. That's going to be our starting point. And the thing is, your hormones and your relationships, they're intertwined. You cannot separate it. For a woman, how we are wired, we cannot separate our hormone health from our relationship health. This is why we as women are so deeply affected by things that's going on with our money, things that's going on in our love life, the type of guy that we're with. That directly affects your hormones as a woman. And that's just how we've evolved, right? That's how we've evolved as a human species, where the man that we were with was our provision back in the day, right? And it would give signals to our body where, yes, you're hormonally safe, you can reproduce, or you're hormonally not safe. It's not a safe time to reproduce. And so then you wouldn't have your period, right? Your hormones would be all over the place. That's how we've evolved. So even though we do so much, Coach B and I, my husband, do so much teaching on here about relationships and feminine energy and your nervous system and, relationship dynamics, your hormones are closely linked to that. And this is also why, for all the ladies that I coach in my programs, the starting point is always going to be your hormones with me. Because if you hormonally don't feel good, if you don't feel good in your body as a woman, even if you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s, that's going to affect your confidence when it comes to dating. That's going to affect your confidence and your energy levels when it comes to dating and marriage, right? You don't got a libido, that's going to affect your marriage, right, ladies? So these are things that we want to get ahead of right now so that you can have it all. Because on this channel, and what I teach my ladies is you get to have it all, babe. You get to have it all. You get to have the dream healthy body. You get to have the dream amazing husband that spoils you and marries you. And you get to live that soft girl life. You get to be paid to exist. You get to have clients and money flow coming towards you. That's the frequency I live in. I live in that reality right now. It's not I'm praying and I'm hoping that this happens. No, I live in this reality right now. And the really cool thing about that is I teach my ladies how to do the same. Yes, we get to have it all. Khadija, I see you, girl. She's saying, I get to have it all. That's what I teach my ladies. All right. So I want you to understand your hormones, and then we're going to get into the 5 ways to melt that hormone fat. Okay. So my ladies that have been around here for a while, you already know this stuff, but this is a good refresher for you. So the hormones I want you to understand your cortisol. So cortisol is a stress hormone. You need it. It's not a bad thing. It's not evil. But when you're running in your masculine energy a lot, you're in that hustle grinding mode, or you're over fasting, you're overworking out, you are stressed. You're stressing your nervous system and you're stressing your hormones. And you're going to release a lot of cortisol and adrenaline. Now, what happens over time, if you are constantly stressed and releasing all this cortisol, you're actually wearing down your adrenal glands. And over time, you can develop something called adrenal fatigue. Now, also with that cortisol, when you have a lot of cortisol happening, over time that breaks down your body and it ages you faster. Ladies, we get to age in reverse. We're in a different era than what our parents were in, where women would just sacrifice themselves, working so hard and just suffering because no one talked to them about their hormones, right? No, we are not in that era anymore. We are not living in that paradigm. We're in a new paradigm. And so I really want you to understand cortisol, because if you want to prevent the wrinkles, ladies, you want to live a long, healthy life, you want to prevent cancers and diabetes and not only the weight, but all the other issues that happen with women, you want to understand your cortisol levels. You want to understand not to stress out your body so much that you are running off of cortisol and adrenaline, okay? It also spikes your insulin levels. Insulin is another hormone I want you to understand. Your insulin hormone, this is what the only thing you need to remember about insulin, okay? Insulin causes things to grow. Insulin causes things to grow. We need insulin. This is a great thing. We need our insulin. But when we're producing too much insulin, what happens is our cells become desensitized to the insulin. And we've got all this insulin floating around in our body. And then we've got all this blood sugar floating around in our body, and it needs to go somewhere. So that's when, the liver will take it. It'll turn into a fatty liver. It'll clog down your liver. And then if your liver is not working properly, your body can't detox properly. It can't detox its hormones properly. So for my ladies that have estrogen dominance, that's part of it. That's when, you'll start developing that stubborn belly fat in the belly area, because the fat needs to go somewhere. So it's going to go in the area, in the belly area. Okay. Another thing I want you to understand, that I did not know this a few years ago, and I want you ladies to understand this, okay? So I was saying that insulin causes things to grow, okay? So this is, if you have PCOS, you have thyroid issues, that is an insulin issue because it's causing things to grow in the body. You see, your cells have these receptor sites. And if you have a lot of insulin floating around in the body because it's not being regulated properly, then it's going to cause things to start to grow. And we don't want things to start growing in the body that's not supposed to be growing. One thing that I learned later on is that our breast tissue and our colon actually has more insulin receptor sites. And guess what the most common cancers are nowadays? Breast cancer, colon cancer. I lost my first husband to colon cancer, right? Do you think anyone ever talked to us about insulin? Nope. Not once. Not one doctor, not one oncologist ever talked to us about insulin. Isn't that interesting? So this is why I'm on here telling you ladies this. For my ladies, I coach a lot of women that have PCOS and fibroids, tons of women, okay? And we reverse it, by the way, naturally. But you know what the doctors tell them? Oh, you just have to live with it. It's common. It's just, and it is common. It's super common. PCOS is the number one endocrine issue for women. But do you think they're telling them about blood sugar and their insulin? No. So, but you ladies, you are empowered. You are learning about your body, and we are aging in reverse, and we are turning this around. Another thing that insulin does is it actually causes it causes wrinkles. Yes, it affects. Well, it's not the insulin; it's actually the blood sugar. Okay, I'm back. Am I back? Let me know in the comments if I'm back. No, yes, you see, you're meant to hear this message. You are meant to hear this message. Yes. Okay, can you ladies hear me? Can you let me know in the comments before I keep going that you can hear me okay? I'm assuming you can because I can see myself. So I'm going to keep going. Yes, you're back. Okay. Give your girls some love, more love, some likes and love so we can push this out to more people, because I really believe you're meant to hear this for a reason. I believe this can save your life. And I know this for sure. Anyway, okay, so now you know your insulin. Your insulin causes things to grow. We do need insulin. We just don't want too much insulin floating around in the body because that's what's causing that stubborn belly fat. Okay. What's the other hormone I want you to understand? Your oxytocin. Oxytocin, we love oxytocin. Oxytocin is literally your love hormone. And that's what's going to help rebalance the cortisol level. If you're running off of too much stress, we want more oxytocin because that's going to calm the woman's nervous system and it's going to help calm and re-regulate your cortisol levels. So if you're really anxious and stressed all the time, you're just like having anxiety, we want more oxytocin. That's that love hormone. That's a bonding hormone. It is so soothing to a woman's nervous system and so soothing to her hormones. Okay. Now, the other hormone I want, or hormones, I should say, that I want you to understand, and right now I'm just helping familiarize all these different hormones for you. We're not going to go into too much detail, but these are just hormones I just want you to start paying attention to and also get them checked when you talk to your doctor, okay? And that's your sex hormones. You as a woman, and for all my ladies that are under 40, you probably don't care too much about these hormones unless you're trying to get pregnant. Because I know I didn't care too much about them until recently. That's your estrogen levels, that's your progesterone levels, that's your testosterone levels. And what happens for the woman as she gets closer to 40 and then beyond 40, those hormones, they drop. They plummet. And we need these hormones to keep us looking yummy, young, and delicious. Ladies, okay? This is not only going to help us feel good and protect our mental health and prevent us from feeling anxious and stressed all the time, but we need it also for our skin. Okay. That's, when your skin starts to get a little bit loose, a little bit more saggy, you start getting more wrinkles, you start losing the fat in your face, right? That's because that estrogen is going down. And then also, if you notice you're way more stressed, you're way more anxious, things that never used to stress you out, let me know in the comments if this is you. Things that never used to stress you out, stress you out. You're feeling way more anxious than you ever used to. You wake up in the middle of the night or you have a hard time going to sleep at night because you're constantly overthinking, right, ladies? Maybe you haven't even changed how you eat. And now all of a sudden you're getting all this hormone belly weight. Let me know in the comments if this is you, right? Okay. And then on top of that, if you have stress cortisol levels, you might have something called the cortisol face, where your face looks like a moon. It's really round and plump. Why? Hormones, 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 hormones. Okay, so we're not going to hate on our hormones because I hear women they just hate their hormones. Oh, my hormones. Oh, it's perimenopause. Oh, it's menopause. Oh, it's PCOS. Oh, it's fibroids. I just got to live with it. No, no. No, 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 no. Okay. We are pattern interrupting that thought process. You do not need to suffer. Okay. Ladies, put that in the comments right now. I don't need to suffer anymore. I get to age in reverse, and Tosh is going to teach me how to do it. Okay. Because I love you. I want you to live forever. And not only do I want you to live a very, very long time, ladies, I want you to look so good. Okay. I just, side note, I promise I'm going to get to my 5 points in a second. I just met a 59-year-old woman this weekend. She looked 40. She's turning 60. She had her son at 45 years old. She looked so good. And I am just meeting more and more women like this that are 60. We have women in our Feminine Energy Academy right now who are rotationally dating for marriage in their 60s and they look 40. Okay, that is the era we live in now, where 60 and 70 is the new middle age. Okay, and no, you don't. It's not just about living a long life. I want you to feel so good in your body. I want you to have a really strong, yummy, delicious libido. Okay, I want your skin to stay smooth and plump. I don't want you to have any joint issues. Okay, ladies, I don't want you suffering every month if you're still menstruating or suffering because you're menopause and postmenopause. Another side note, most women nowadays, this is not Tash making this up, this is actual science, okay? Most women nowadays are actually going to live the majority of your life postmenopause. Postmenopause, right? Because we're living so long now. And a lot of women go through menopause in their 40s and 50s. So there's a very, very high chance that you are going to live majority of your life, or at least half of your life, past menopause age. So this is really important for you to understand your body. Even if your doctor hasn't really been helping you, that's okay. We're not shaming. There's a lot of new doctors now that are coming onto the scene, longevity doctors that are really helping women in this area, which is amazing. But it's so important for you to understand your body. Okay, I'm not going to go on a TED talk right now. That I'll save that for a different episode. Let's jump into the 5 things that are going to help you melt hormone belly fat the feminine energy way. And I'm going to have my Unimate tea while let me just take a sip. 1 second. So right now I am still in a fasted state. Okay, I'm still in a fasted state. I feel amazing. I mean, I'm live streaming. I feel amazing. I'm not hungry. I'm full of energy. I don't have brain fog like so many women do. Why? It's because of the things that I'm teaching you here. So the number one thing for melting that hormone belly weight, the feminine energy weight, is how you intermittent fast. Okay, intermittent fasting is one of the biggest cheat codes, the easiest cheat codes for you as a woman to lose weight. Now, here's the thing, we are not doing it like the bros do it on the internet. You'll see a lot of men that will do the OMAD, which is totally fine. They can do that. That's great. Some women can do that. But if it's putting a lot of stress on your body, I don't want you fasting more than 12 hours, 14 hours max. Okay, ladies? Because especially if when you first come to me and you got PCOS, you got adrenal fatigue, maybe your cycles are irregular, I will never get you to be fasting longer than 12 hours because that's just going to put too much stress on your body. What I teach my women to do is if you do have hormone issues, just start with 12 hours. That's all you need. But if you are hormonally balanced, you got your blood work done, you're good, you're healthy, you're doing different things that I teach, you're drinking the Unimate tea stuff that I have, or you're drinking your coffee black, you're not having coffee with cream and sugar in the morning. You can have it with butter if you want, or MCT coconut oil, but you are not having it with the creams and the sugar because that's going to take you out of fasted state. Okay. But anyway, if you're feeling good, then yes, you can go a little bit longer. I can fast longer because I've trained my body. I'm not stressed. I'm like literally living my soft girl life right now. And I have my Unimate tea in the morning. I have my adaptogens. I get at least 8 hours sleep at night. So I'm just not in a stress state at all. So I can go 14, 16 hours, depending on the time of the month. And I feel amazing. Okay. These are the things that you can do so you don't have to calorie count, babe. We are not calorie counting and we're not starving ourselves. So some signs that you are fasting too long is you're getting headaches. You're feeling fatigued. You feel weak. Okay. We never want to be like that. You're just feeling anxious and stressed. Never, ever, ever do that. And the beautiful thing about intermittent fasting, ladies, is that you can change it from day to day. It gets to adapt to your lifestyle. And that's the beautiful thing about the feminine energy way is we can be flexible. If we want to fast 12 hours one day, great. And the next day, we want to fast 16 hours because we're feeling amazing and we're in the follicular phase of our cycle or whatever it is, then yeah, we can do it. Being so in tune with your body as a woman is so important. Being really aware of what your body is doing is so important. And the other thing that I get my ladies to do, because they're always asking, can I do this? Can I do that? Should I fast for this long? Should I fast for that long? Or I've been trying to fast and it's not working. Okay, so this is the guideline for you for intermittent fasting. I want you to look at 2 things. One, can you sustain it? Whatever it is that you're doing, whatever new changes that you're making, can you sustain it? Ask yourself that. And then the second thing, are you actually getting results? Meaning that you're actually losing weight. You're actually losing the weight. You're actually feeling better. Your energy is improving. Is that actually happening? Because I know women who have tried to fast like a crazy lady. Okay. They're exercising like crazy. They're fasting. They're barely eating and they're putting on weight. Why is that? Because it's your hormones. Your hormones are so stressed out. You likely have the cortisol issues and the PCOS. And what's happening is your body is in survival mode. It thinks that you're about to go through a famine. That's what you've signaled to your nervous system. And then so what happens is, even if you try starving yourself or exercising like a crazy lady and fasting for 25 hours, 25 hours in a 24-hour period, even if you try doing that, what's going to happen is the body's going to go into survival mode, and it's going to hold on to weight. You're going to retain water. Your cortisol is going to be spiked, so you're going to retain water because your body thinks that it's trying to save its life. Okay, so that's how you know you're fasting way too long and you're just doing too much. It's just too extra, babe. Okay, so we're going to dial it back in. Okay, number 2 thing, and also with the intermittent fasting, ladies, is what you're eating during your eating window is so important. Because then there's some people like, oh yeah, I'm intermittent fasting. And then during your eating window, you're having all these simple carbs. So you're having like pastries and bagels and toast and pasta and all that stuff. And I'm not saying for you to never have those things. But remember, we want to keep our insulin levels nice and stable all day long. We don't want them going up and down, up and down, up and down all day long, because that's what's going to cause that stubborn belly fat. So what I encourage my ladies to do during that eating window is eat hormone friendly foods and thermogenic foods, literally fat burning foods. Foods that are nourishing your body, foods that are nourishing your skin. Oh my gosh. If you've seen some of my videos, I talk about this all the time. Okay. I'm into like the bone broth and the sardines and the collagen and, just the healthy omega fatty acids, the avocados, lots of protein. You want to be eating a ton of protein. I want you thinking protein over calories. Okay. Man, there's so much more I want to teach you about this. I literally have entire programs on this. You can try it for free. I have thermogenic food list, fat burning list. I have a bone broth weight loss program. I have a reverse PCOS program. I have a reverse cortisol program. And that's all available for my ladies in the Feminine Energy Academy. Because a lot of you ladies are on this glow up journey while you are, healing from the divorce or dating again, wanting to date again, wanting to learn about your feminine energy. So I have over 5 hormone weight loss programs in the Feminine Energy Academy. You can try for free. I give it to you for free. And I just put it in the Feminine Energy Academy for the ladies because it's so effective. And I literally have a list of fat burning thermogenic foods that will help you. Okay. It will help your hormones, will help you burn fat during your eating window. Okay. Let me move on to the next point. Next point is know your cycle. This is a huge game changer. Also, ladies, if you're still cycling, if you're still having your cycle, I want you to track your cycle. If you're like me, when you're younger in your 20s and even probably in your 30s, early 30s, you didn't really maybe pay too much attention to your cycle unless you're trying to get pregnant. But I never really paid too much attention to my cycle until I got closer to 40. And that's when I noticed my luteal phase really changing. So let me know. So that's when, okay, so you have your follicular cycle, you have your ovulating, okay, and then you menstruate, and then then you go through your luteal phase, and then you menstruate. The luteal phase is when all the hormones go down. And that's when you just, oh my gosh, I really started to notice this as I got closer to 40, where you just have low energy, or maybe you're starting to feel more anxious and stressed, right? And so the old version of Tosh, because I was so in my masculine, did not care how I was feeling. I was at the gym 2 hours a day, squatting, lifting weights, lifting all these weights, running, doing all this cardio, right? Because, that's just what you do when you're in your masculine energy. You just you do everything hard, right? And then I learned I don't need to do that. I don't need to beat up my body. And my hormones are not going to like that. Your hormones are not going to like that long term. You maybe can do that in your 20s and your 30s, but after 40, your body will not like you. Okay. So we're not doing that anymore. I don't do that anymore. I still work out, but I do it based on my cycle. So there's this really great app. It's free. It's called the Flow app. I'm sure there's other apps. I personally like the Flow app. It's so accurate. It's actually crazy. But track your cycle. Track your cycle, because it will tell you why you're feeling how you're feeling during certain times of the month. So, if your chest is hurting, you're bloated, you have no energy, you have cravings, it will tell you why you're feeling like that. And so, one thing I teach my ladies, I have a program in the Feminine Energy Academy on this as well, is do your workouts based on your cycle, because you are just going to be such a way happier person. And I even plan how I run my business, like what I do in my business. Also, I plan around my cycle. So, just as an example, when I'm in my luteal phase, when the hormones are going down, I give myself so much extra grace, so much extra self-love, extra nap time, in bed earlier. When I'm working out, I'm not working out as heavy. I'm not lifting as heavy. I am, doing more relaxing things. Those are ways that you honor your body as the feminine. You're honoring your hormones. You're not shaming yourself because you didn't get the 2-hour workout in anymore. Okay. We're not doing that. And what will happen is when you honor your body, ladies, your body will honor you. Okay. So that is know your cycle. Number 3, if you've been following me for a while, they used to call me the adaptogen queen on social media, okay? Because I was always on here. I was a girl on here. I was talking about my fat burner drops, all my adaptogens, my ashwagandha, all that stuff. Why? Because it makes such a difference to your hormones. So what I want you to do is, first of all, are you getting the basic nutrients that you need as a woman? The basic. I'm talking vitamin D, magnesium, omega-3 fatty acid, your vitamin Bs, even just a multivitamin. So important. You want the strong hair, you want the skin, you want your nails to be long and healthy, all of that, let alone your hormones. You need to have nutrients, ladies, okay? And yes, you can actually reverse gray hair. I'm 40 years old and I still don't have one gray hair. I have 0 joint issues. I have no joint pain. I have no back pain. And I had 4 kids in 5 years. Okay. Why is that? Because of the supplements I take. And I tell my ladies this all the time. Okay. Instead of spending money on the luxury Chanel handbag or wearing name brand clothes, treat your body like the billboard. Treat your body like you are the luxury handbag, okay? And so you want to put only high quality things in your body because you're expensive. And what will happen, ladies, when you start treating yourself like this and your skin is looking good and your hair and your nails and your hormones and you just look good for your age. It's not about looking like a 20-year-old, but you look and you feel good for your age. You're going to be so magnetic to the men and to the man that will come along and buy you that expensive handbag. Okay. I never used to buy myself any luxury handbags or anything like that until I got married. And my husband buys me stuff now. Why? Because I spent money on supplements. I spent money on my hormones. I spent money on things that actually matter on my body. Okay. Keeping myself healthy. So I had the energy with 4 kids at 40 years old to get remarried, right? That's where you want to invest. You are your greatest return on investment. I promise you that, ladies. Okay, I promise you that. So anyway, so yes, you want to have those basic vitamins, super important. And then you want to be having some adaptogens, right? So I have yerba mate, my yerba mate tea, which is a very potent yerba mate. Every single day, I have my husband on that too. Ashwagandha, right? Another huge one. Maca, rhodiola. Those are things that I love taking and I encourage my ladies to take because it's going to help your hormones so much. Now, if you've done those things and the other stuff I'm about to teach you, and your hormones are still not where you want them to be, go and get them checked, ladies, and be open to talking to your doctor about even hormone replacement. Okay? Don't be ashamed of that. Know your options because I promise you, babe, when you feel good, you look good, you are going to show up so much different. Okay? So no shame around that. Okay, next one. I have 2 more points for you. And then I can answer your questions. Moderator, I'm not sure if you're hearing this right now, but I don't have an extra device to see people's questions. So if you're seeing this message, can you bring me an extra device, please, so I can see people's questions? But if not, that's okay. Okay. Number 4, beauty sleep. You need to become a professional sleeper, ladies. Okay. Like, change your identity right now. Like, literally have a born again experience right now. Identity shift. Yes, what Tasha's saying, I am now a professional sleeper, because your bedtime, your sleep is the number one biohack, high performance drug you could have as a woman and a man too. Literally, like, there's nothing else that matters more than your sleep and rest. Why? That's when you produce more human growth hormone. That's your anti-aging hormone, ladies. Okay? Before you start taking all this stuff to help boost your hormones, which I think is amazing, but before you even do that, are you going to bed before 10 o'clock? Going to bed before 10 o'clock is going to boost your human growth hormone. It's going to help re-regulate your cortisol levels. I used to be a nurse. I used to do night shifts. I was in my 20s also. It's different when you're in your early 20s. But what happens when you're working night shifts? Your cortisol is spiked. When your cortisol is spiked, your insulin is spiked. What happens? You store that belly fat, right? Your body's in that stress mode, right? And so it is so disruptive to a woman's nervous system and her hormones when she is up all night long working and not sleeping properly. So you need to, I mean, if you have to do that, that's okay, but do the other stuff that I teach you. But ladies, even my single mamas right now, you need to have healthy boundaries around bedtime. Okay, you need to have healthy boundaries around bedtime. You need to be in bed sleeping by 10 o'clock. Plus, if you're married, ladies, this is so healthy for your marriage. Okay, I love being married now. We're in bed early, get to have our married time, relax, watch Caribbean Life, or beachfront properties, or whatever those shows we love watching. And then we're in bed sleeping early. We're not scrolling on TikTok until 12 o'clock at night, ladies. That is disrupting your hormones. So you're not going to do that anymore. Okay. And then, of course, if you're having trouble sleeping, even though you're trying to go to bed early, there's a couple things that's probably happening. One, you're probably functioning really heavy in your masculine energy. Masculine energy is thinking, right? So if you have a job, you're in finance, you're a realtor girly, you're a business owner, doctor, coach, those types of people, because I coach a lot of them, they're always thinking. They're always thinking. And they have a hard time turning their brain off. But that masculine energy is keeping you up at night. It's disrupting your hormones, okay? And it's keeping your masculine energy. All right. So we're going to switch out of that. We're going to lean more into our feminine. And of course, if you need help with that, I have an entire academy to help activate your feminine energy and get you out of your head overthinking. And then so you can relax more. Okay. So you can sleep. And then, of course, if that's still not working, then I really encourage you to get your hormones checked, because it could be hormone imbalances that you're having that are easily fixed, ladies. You don't have to suffer. We're not suffering anymore. Okay, last but not least is your body movement. You got to be moving your body, ladies. This is a non-negotiable. Now, it does not mean you need to go to the gym. It does not mean you need to go do a marathon. It does not mean you need to go and lift crazy heavy weights. No. The best exercise for you is the one you stick to. I want you to remember that. So it gets to be fun, right? We're doing it the fun, feminine way. So what's something fun that you can do? What is something fun that you can do? Can you take a Zumba class, and just start dancing, a dance class? Can you do a boot camp? Can you work out with a buddy? Can you get a trainer? Can you, just go for walks, go get a weighted vest, right? I got my mom a weighted vest. I wear a weighted vest. If you hate working out, like my mom despises working out, like absolutely hates it, right? So I was like, hey, mom, at least just go for a walk, okay? And at least just put a weighted vest on. And that's what she does, right? And that's what I do too. That's better than nothing. You need that resistance as a woman, especially as you get older. You need it. It's a non-negotiable. Tell yourself that this is a non-negotiable for me now, okay? Plus, it's going to help you burn so much fat. Now, once again, you don't need to do hours and hours at the gym. I have a couple of programs, one program in particular, it's called the Hourglass Body Program. So I help you develop that hourglass body shape 20 minutes a day at home, okay? you don't have to go to the gym to do it. You can do it at home. You can do it at the gym. It's how I work out. It's how I've helped a lot of my women work out. Of course, that's available to you in the Feminine Energy Academy as well. But just start somewhere. Okay, just start somewhere, walking, moving around, dancing. I don't care what you do, but this has to become a non negotiable for you. All right, ladies. So let me just recap this really quickly and then drop your questions. Let me see what questions you ladies have, if anything stood out for you. So we talked about the 5 things to really help you lose that hormone weight, the feminine energy weight. And of course, I go way more into this in the Feminine Energy Academy. I have a 90-day cortisol detox program. I have a perimenopause weight loss program in there. I have the 90-day hourglass body program in there. I have a bone broth weight loss program in there. I have drop a dress size in 30 days. So many. And actually, I forgot to mention this. Next week, we're starting another 90-day glow up challenge. So another fun thing that we do in the Feminine Energy Academy is every 90 days, we run a new challenge. And this is just a really fun way for you to stay focused. We have daily check-ins. I check in with you every single day. Make sure you're on track. You have your eating plan, you got your workout plan. You can customize it to however you want. You got the encouragement. We work on your feminine energy. We heal your nervous system. I have all my fat burning foods in there for you to work on, teach you how to intermittent fast, all the supplements, everything. You have access to all of it. Okay. This is why I've had so much success with my women who have reversed PCOS, have lost weight while having PCOS, have shrunk fibroids, had stabilized their cortisol levels, but their cholesterol, they reversed fatty liver. They've been able to lose weight even if they're perimenopause, menopause. They've gotten rid of their hot flashes, all of that. We are aging in reverse, baby. That is the reality we live in. Okay. I love it. So the 5 things that we talked about is your intermittent fasting, the feminine way, not the bro way, the feminine energy way. Okay. Number 2 is you're going to start understanding your cycle. I want you to know where you're at every single day of the month so you understand why you feel the way you feel and so that you can adapt your life based on where you're at in your cycle. Number 3 is supplements. You're going to start taking supplements, good quality supplements that help you nourish your hormones. If you are nutrient deficient, your hormones will not work properly. That's just how it goes, okay? You're going to age yourself so much faster if you don't have the right nutrients that your body needs, okay, ladies? And the adaptogens is like one of the greatest cheat code, okay? They've been around for thousands of years since, Ayurvedic medicine and traditional Chinese medicine. They've been using these adaptogens. And what do adaptogens do? They help the body adapt to stress at a hormonal level. At a hormonal level. That's why it's called an adaptogen, right? So it's something that I incorporate every single day and I teach my ladies to do as well. Okay. Number 4 is you're becoming a professional sleeper. Now, this is your new identity. It truly is beauty sleep. You want to age in reverse, ladies. You don't want a bunch of wrinkles. Okay. You want to burn that belly fat. You want to look and feel delicious, until you're way, way late in your years, right? You want that. Then you need to have really good quality sleep and you need to go to bed early before 10 o'clock. Okay, ladies? And then last but not least is you are moving your body every day and you're keeping it fun. You're doing something that you enjoy doing. Okay. And also, let me just remind you, ladies, in order for you to truly be in your feminine energy, you need to have the presence of masculine energy around you. And so I'm not talking about a man, I'm talking about structure. You need to have structure and routines so that you can relax. See, what often happens is for my women that don't have a plan, you don't have a weight loss plan, a workout plan, get your body right plan, healthy plan. You're just kind of just doing whatever. You're constantly in your head because you don't know, should I go to the gym? Should I not go to the gym? Should I work out? What should I do when I work out? What should I eat today? What should I eat tomorrow? Oh, but the kids this and then you just neglect yourself, right? So, what I encourage you to do, this is why I've created that masculine structure in the Feminine Energy Academy, where I have the programs for you. I have 90-day programs for you. So it takes you out of overthinking. You don't got to analyze. You don't have to analyze, what should I do today? What should I do tomorrow? What should I eat? How should I work out? I only got 20 minutes. What should I do? Right? No. For example, in my 90-day program, it's like one, it's labeled 1 all the way down to 90. You literally click on the day and I tell you what to do. I have a nervous system re-regulating audio for you. I show you some examples of food for that day. You don't have to eat it, but it gives you ideas. You can adapt it to how you want it. And then I have the workout there for you with the videos. I'm actually working out because this is a program that I did from a few years ago. Okay. When I was on my glow up journey and I was rebuilding my body. So you don't have to think. And even if you're not doing my program, just ask yourself, what can I do in my life to make it easy so I don't have to overthink? Do I need a meal prep? Do I need order meals in advance? Do I have a meal prep day? This is one of my biggest things that I encourage my ladies to do, get a house cleaner. Get someone to come in and clean your house so you can take all that energy and focus on your glow up, babe. These are things that you get to do as the feminine. Even in scripture, this is where I got this, okay? Even in scripture, in Proverbs 31, it says that she assigns her maidservants tasks. She arises early while it's still nighttime, and she gives her maidservants tasks. That means she has help. We as the feminine, we as a feminine, we as a virtuous wife, we get to have help. We were never meant to do this all by ourselves, ever. That's why you're burnt out. That's why you're exhausted. Even if you're a single mama, you think you need to do everything by yourself. And you absolutely do not need to do that, okay? But you need to give yourself permission to do things differently. You need to give yourself permission to receive the help, to receive the accountability, to receive the encouragement, to receive the guidance, to receive the coaching, so that you can look amazing, feel amazing, and attract amazing. Okay. So, anyway, also, side note, this Saturday, I'm doing a live masterclass where I'm teaching the ladies how to collapse timelines and quantum leap in the area of receiving. So you get to receive money with ease. You get to receive the masculine with ease. We're not stressing. We're not hustling. We're not about that reality anymore. We are in a new reality. We're in a new timeline where things get to be easier on our hormones and our nervous system. Okay, ladies? So if you want to live that life where you get paid to exist, where you get to relax, where you have the masculine chasing you, where you have clients and opportunities and all of that chasing you, higher cash months chasing you, then you want to be on that masterclass. It's free for the new people. So the link is there. Jump in the Feminine Energy Academy. And once you're in there, I want you to private message me. Okay. Private message me and tell me your story and tell me what you're wanting. Tell me what your goals are right now. In the Feminine Energy Academy, we have 3 main sections. We got the hormones and weight loss section. We have everything about feminine energy and dating and marriage section. And that's also the nervous system healing and the inner healing that I teach the ladies. And then we have a whole section on your relationship with money, because I know finances and money is one of the biggest thing that stresses women out. And that's what's stressing out your hormones. That's what's stressing out your nervous system, right? So I have a program in there called the Relaxed Money Magnet. Okay. And it's going to completely rewire your nervous system around money. And of course, it's going to help. This is why I have such amazing success with my women. We're trying to lose weight and reversing hormone issues because I get to the root cause of it. See, PCOS is a symptom. Adrenal fatigue is a symptom. The hormone belly weight is a symptom. The perimenopause, menopause, horrible symptoms, those are just symptoms. I get to the root of it. That's what we heal. And that's why our ladies have such great success. So anyway, I got to run because I have a meeting now, but I hope that was fun. I didn't get to your questions because I actually don't have another device to see the questions. So I apologize. I'll do that next time. So what happens when I don't have my husband with me? Normally he's here with me. Anyway, I will see you in the Feminine Energy Academy, ladies. And I love you. See you.